a lot of people would be comparing themselves to you. But do you feel pressure from now having that many followers?
Yeah, an insane amount of pressure. Like, to the point I don't say no to anything. I push. I've affected my health now because of it. Ended up in hospital from the stress. I've even had to say I can't film an episode because I've just done myself in. I've hit a wall.
Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. And as you can see, we are joined on the sofa by Bex, isn't it? Yeah, Bex. Yeah. Bex from Blow It with Bex. Now, hello, welcome back. Well, you can look a little bit happier about being here. Yay! Most people appreciate being on the sofa.
I do appreciate being on the sofa.
Okay. All right. Now, as you can probably see, I've known Bex a while, to the point that I feel we can have this abusive relationship that we have with each other, but it's all done in jest. But today, I want to find out a little bit more about Bex. At the very first show we did, I think we asked you about your history and whatever, but we didn't go into too much detail. No. So I think today I'd like to do that. I'd like you to tell your story, and we'll just see where it goes. Okay. What we end up talking about. Favorite flavor of ice cream, probably. Oh, do you have one?
Strawberry.
Strawberry?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what mine is. I like vanilla.
Plain. Boring.
It's not plain. But see, people get vanilla really wrong. Vanilla is really nice, particularly if you have the bits of vanilla in it. What about you guys? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Mike? Chocolate. Laura? Salted caramel. Mike?
Salted caramel.
Salted caramel. Oh, wow. Okay. But vanilla is still the best.
Cornish vanilla is all right.
Cornish vanilla. New Forest.
That's the one.
New Forest ice cream.
No,
oh, Waitrose. Waitrose is on. Anyway, this is not where I expected
going off track
this chat to go.
Yeah.
So, for those of you that don't know who you are and your business name, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Bex from Blow It with Bex. So I originally was a nail technician, nail it with Bex. So I wanted to go with a name. I'll talk about my name because it's the talking point, with something that people wouldn't forget. I want to go into a shop and be like, oh, I do balloons. My business name's Blow It with Bex. I know for a fact no one's going to forget that name.
Yeah.
Because everyone's got that slightly...
Dirty mind.
Yeah, dirty mind, I know. So it's an unforgettable name. So I wasn't Nail It with Bex. Then COVID hit. And then...
You started blowing it.
COVID hit. And so I've had a job from the age of 13. So to then go from having jobs to not having a job, and homeschooling as well, that was a lot. So I was like, I need something for me, for my mind through COVID, otherwise you end up losing your mind. Started messing around with balloons. And then I did a balloon display for my best friend's birthday party when we come out of lockdown. That display was absolutely awful. I look at it now and I want to die. I'm like, that is so bad. But at the time I was like, oh my God, I'm amazing at balloons.
Yeah.
Like, that is so good. And then just launched my business, and within a matter of weeks, I stopped doing nails because I had no time for it, and my balloon business literally took off.
So this was at the beginning of COVID?
Yeah, at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's only a few... When did COVID start? 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why balloons? Why did you said you started messing about with balloons. Why did you choose to mess about with balloons?
So, I go on Pinterest every now and again to get ideas for things. And we always knew that we were going to do an extension on our house. So I was just looking at extension stuff. And then there was one display, a balloon display. I don't know how it was on there, but it was on my feed on Pinterest. And you know, if you click on something on Pinterest, more of that stuff comes up every time you go on it. So because I clicked on it, more and more displays would come up. And then it was I was like, right, I can do that. I'm going to give that a go. And then, ordered some balloons off of Amazon, trusty Amazon balloon kits.
Yeah.
And started with balloons. At the beginning, I was cool glue gunning the balloons together, believe it or not.
But no, a lot of people do, because if you don't know how to do it, or you've not thought of how to do it, you just see that display and that's what you think. So, and that was not a good display then?
No, it was absolutely
You're going to allow us
awful.
to show that display?
Yeah, because it shows my growth.
Okay.
I'll happily let you put it up on screen.
Okay, fantastic. And you think you're better than that now, yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Of course you are.
Obviously.
Obviously, if we were off camera now, Bex would probably be swearing at me and being very impolite.
I wouldn't.
But yeah, so you've grown. I think that's really good. Everybody I talk to that says when they started, oh, look at my first job, absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. You start
definitely.
off and you don't know anything and you try and figure it out. And that's quite an important part of being in business. What have you figured out being in business? What have you learned about being in business?
So many things that like you literally grow every single day. Like everyone grows. It's just natural. So like from my first balloon display to what I do now, like that growth is insane. But just, oh God, I could be here all day talking about the things that I've learned. Not to focus on other people and literally just stay in your lane, focus on yourself and not what everyone else is doing. Like stop comparing yourself to everyone.
That's really hard though, isn't it? Because social media, the way we are now, and just in our lives, never mind because I've got 2 teenage daughters and they're on social media and you just worry, they are just comparing their lives, every aspect of their lives to everybody else. And you obviously have done very well on Instagram. What are you up to now?
157K.
157,000 subscribers. So that's a lot of people would be comparing themselves to you. I want to be, as big as Bex. I want to have that. But do you feel pressure from now having that many followers?
Yeah, an insane amount of pressure, like ridiculous pressure. Like to the point I don't say no to anything. I push to the point that like I've affected my health now because of it. Ended up in hospital from the stress. And like today, I've even had to say I can't film an episode because I've just done myself in. I've hit a wall.
So have you learned from that though?
Absolutely. I've learned that I'm human. I need to stop. Like I need to put myself first, then worry about letting people down all the time. Obviously, it's not a nice thing saying, oh, no, I can't do that. No. But if I'm not okay, my family's not okay. So they're the most important. They're who I do everything for. So if I'm not okay, then I just mess up everything at home. So
are there parts of your work life that you would rather focus on more than others? You personally. So I know you feel a responsibility to everybody in your academy. You feel a responsibility to your followers, feel a responsibility to the brands that you're working with. But is there a particular part that if you had to choose one part of what you do that you would choose?
My academy.
Is it?
Yeah, because every single member of my academy they invest in me, their own money, the money that they earn, they invest in me as a person. So I want to invest in them as people.
Yeah.
Like they all mean so much to me. The fact that they're even on my academy, it means the world. So they're my focus all day, every day. I personally reply to every single question.
Yeah.
I don't let any question go unanswered.
How many questions do you get a day?
Hundreds.
Hundreds a day?
Hundreds a day. I've just set up a WhatsApp group on there, which eases the pressure quite a bit on me. We've had it running for a few months now. So if I can't answer the question straight away because I'm busy, say I'm with my kids, someone else will answer it as well. But I will still put my input in at the end of the day when I get a chance.
Yeah.
But I literally answer all of them because I just they're investing in me. They want me to answer. So if I just set up an academy and then just let it run itself, I personally wouldn't like that. So why would I do that?
Yeah. But if you're getting hundreds of messages a day.
Yeah, I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I also feel like I couldn't hire someone else to help me with that because, again, my members, they're paying for me. I don't want someone else to answer the question. That's not fair.
And this is the problem that some celebrities have had, haven't they, on social media, because they've got however many millions of followers. And then they, the followers expect every comment to be responded to by that individual. Well, that's impossible.
No, I miss comments and some messages on Instagram quite a lot. Like, I can't keep up with that. That's impossible to keep up with that. So I'll hold my hands up. I miss quite a few of those. But if I do miss a message, hopefully everyone gives me a little nudge and be like, oh, you haven't replied. Because I just get ridiculous amounts of messages on my Instagram a day, and comments are insane. Yeah. I don't mean to miss a message, or hopefully people don't take it to heart.
I'm sure.
But yeah, it's hard to keep
See, just
up
the
with.
way you're speaking, you're clearly putting everybody first, aren't you?
Yeah, I know, and not myself.
And that's probably, we're going into a therapy session now.
I know
that's probably, we normally do this in my office, everybody. And it's that you do have to be careful. And I think that's an interesting message, because people will see you on Instagram. They see the work that you do. They see you out there with the brands that you work with. They see you on BMTV. They see you doing all this stuff, and they think, oh, Bex is amazing. Bex has this amazing life that it's just so easy for Bex. And that's something people will think is that, it's okay for her. Yeah. But without realising the pressure and sacrifices as well that
there's a lot going on behind the scenes that people don't see.
I mean, we did. You were doing a live, or was I doing a live and you joined, or I joined you, or whatever? I can't remember. And you were in Cornwall on holiday, and there was chaos behind you. It was
chaos. But that's my life.
But this is it. I was like, I've just arrived on holiday, and there's stuff going on, and I've got to do a live. Yeah. So it's like you can't actually really ever get away with it, away from it, and that's one of the things I think is. Because you are your own brand, there's nobody else. No. You are your own brand. You can have people help you and whatever else, but you are the brand. So if we just focus on your academy, so your academy is the one area that you would keep. Yeah. Is there something you could do differently that you think would, and I'm using this as an example to everybody else out there, because there's probably something like this in everybody's business. Yeah. And it might be the social media. They feel, I can't get rid of social media, I've got to be present. Is there anything you could change to make things better for you, do you think?
Yeah, so I'm actually doing this at the minute, because obviously I've hit that wall now. Okay. Is setting myself hours to reply to everyone. Okay. So I'm not going to be on my phone as much. I'm going to reply between these hours and these hours only. If it's an emergency, they really need me, message me separately, not in the group, and I will get back to you. But if it's only an emergency.
What kind of emergency?
I don't know. People panic. If you're on a job and something's gone really wrong, just having that person that you can message for reassurance, right, Bex, this has happened, what can I do? Because when you're in that job and something goes wrong, you panic. If you've got no one there, you don't work with anyone, you're by yourself, just having that reassurance. I don't want anyone to feel like they're on their own. So I'll be like, if you really need me, message me. But all of my academy, even though I say that, they don't. They just write in the WhatsApp group and everyone gets back to each other. Yeah. So they're never on their own anyway.
And I think that is a really good thing, because you've built this community. If everybody's on the WhatsApp group, everybody will be wanting to support each other. And
we're a family, a massive family.
I think that's a really good thing that you've done. And hopefully that will ease that pressure for you, because you can't be expected. Imagine your academy was 4 times the size. I know. Which might happen. You can't.
Yeah, I know, I wouldn't then. Yeah.
Imagine if you had 1,000 messages a day. You can't. No. You can't. So what do you do? And I think the WhatsApp group where you've built this community is probably a really, really good idea. So what would you suggest to people that feel that pressure from social media? Because everybody's on social media, everybody's on Instagram, everybody sees your 150-something thousand followers and probably aspire to that. Everybody is measuring on followers and those sort of metrics these days. So people feel the pressure. They have to post every day. Yeah. No. And what would you say?
You don't have to post every day.
Okay.
You have to find your own algorithm, your own consistency. So even if that's posting once a week, You choose that one day that you're going to post a week at the same time every week. What works on your Instagram? You can see it on your insights. What time is the best time to post? And then just do that every single week. That will create your own consistency. Yeah. You don't have to post every day. I post every day because I have the content to do that. But realistically, you don't have that content to do that. Yeah. So you don't feel like you need to do that to be successful on there, because that's not how it is. You don't need to do it every day.
So even when people are comparing, because people will compare themselves to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if Bex has got 150,000 followers, I want to hit 150,000. She posts every day. I've got to post every day. Crap, what do I do? I've not got the content to post every day. And
you can recycle old content as well, because your new followers, I can guarantee they're not scrolling down to the like beginning of your Instagram feed. Yeah. They're just looking at your most recent. Yeah. So there'll be stuff that they haven't seen. And you could repost that. You could repost an old reel, and that could take off for all you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then your Instagram grows from that. So you can repost old stuff.
So what about the people that are just starting off, literally just a few weeks, few months in, and they've not had very many jobs. How do they get the content? What would you suggest there?
So I stand by fake it till you make it. So when I first started, that's what I did. I bought a load of balloons. To me, that's an investment. I know it's an outlay, but it is an investment. Yeah. So I bought a load of balloons and I practiced some displays. So there was one display that I did on a beach, and I got the sunset through the centre of a double hoop. You can scroll back on my Instagram and you'll see it. Now, I inflated all of the balloons previous. I had my best friend carrying 2 king-size duvets full of these balloons. We went down on Warsash, the beachfront down there, and it was 40-mile-per-hour winds. And she was like, are you still going to do this? I was like, yeah, I've inflated the balloons, mate. We're 100% doing this. Yeah. I can't waste these balloons. So we were like holding the hoop up, and she was holding the duvets, and we were making this double hoop, and I was like, I need to wait for the sunset to get the shot. So I said that was for a wedding on the beach. No one on Instagram knew that wasn't. It was just me and my best mate that knew it wasn't. I couldn't tell you on 2 hands how many jobs I got from that setup.
Wow.
Just from literally faking it till I make it.
And how many people get married on Warsash Beach?
Not many, but people don't know it was Warsash Beach, do they? I mean, it's not the best beach, but it got me so many jobs. And it just, people won't order what they don't see. So if you're just continuously doing number stacks on Instagram and the big jobs is where you want to be doing the hoops, the garlands. If that's not on your Instagram, they're not going to ask you. Yeah. They're not going to ask you for it because they won't presume that you do it.
Well, particularly as balloons are not something that people are ordering every day. So it's like, okay, somebody said, for whatever, I'm in charge of balloons for the wedding. Yeah. Okay, balloons. Yeah, what do you see on Instagram? Yeah. It's like, oh, that looks really good. I'll get that. So if it's not there, you don't contact a company that isn't there. So you talk about your double hoop. That was something that you focused on, isn't it? You made that your thing. Yeah. Is that something that you'd recommend to people? Find your thing?
Absolutely. Like, everyone always says the market's oversaturated. They always say that. I don't think at all it is. If you walk down the street, how many hairdressers are right next door to each other? Like, there are so many people in the world. There will always be business. But where there are so many balloon artists, you need to find your niche, something that makes you stand out from the crowd. So if someone's doing a garland, a specific shape, find a garland completely different shape so that you stand out. Find something that is completely different to everyone else. Yeah. So for me, it was my flowers to start off with, and then my double hoop. But when I first started balloons, like, flowers weren't huge in balloons. There was just a little bit here and there. Yeah. And I was like, nah, go in hard with the flowers.
That's your theory, isn't it? More is more.
More is more. More is always more. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you found the hoop. You found the flowers first. Then it just developed into the hoop. How did the hoop come to be a thing?
I just wanted a thicker hoop. The first double hoop I did was with my friend Shay. At the time, honestly, we went for a cocktail afterwards because we were buzzing. We were like, oh my God, that is sick. Like, how good is that? Honestly, I look at it now, I have to give you the picture. It's horrific. Really? It is so bad. I didn't know what we were doing. I was just like, we just need to make this thicker, like really thick. And we were honestly went for a cocktail to celebrate. We were like, yeah, this is going to be a big thing. It was awful. And then, yeah, as the more I did, the better and better I got it.
I think that's a really good point you've just made there about, just had to figure it out, didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
I sometimes think in this day and age where you do have your academy and there's other academies and, you know, you've got YouTube, you've got all this information, people think that they should be just watching that and learning, finding out how to do it, finding the answer, and forgetting the good old traditional, you've just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that you, in your academy, you will answer things for people. I think the WhatsApp is obviously a fantastic idea. But sometimes in business, you just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
You just have to figure it out. And that's probably quite an important thing for people to realize in business.
Yeah.
That sometimes you can't get the answer, or you're in a situation that you are on site, you don't have any mobile coverage or whatever, and you just have to figure it out. And we've done that.
Yeah.
Over
You'll
the
develop
years.
as an artist as well.
Yeah.
The more you do yourself, the more you mess around, you'll develop completely yourself.
So from that first hoop,
Yeah.
you know, look at and you think is horrendous.
Oh, awful.
What is it you did to improve?
I literally just kept doing it, but trying different ways of doing it. So I now do the class of 6 on the inside. But when I first started doing it, I was just tying balloons here, there, and everywhere.
Okay.
But I just kept practicing, trying different, like how many different size clusters to add in the middle to see what would work.
And you didn't ask anybody how to do that.
God, no,
You
no, I
literally
did it
just
all myself.
played.
Yeah.
So what's next? Obviously, a few years you've been in. How long have you actually been? It's 3 years.
3
then.
years.
God, that's such a short period of time
Yeah.
to get to where you are. And it's, you know, particularly now that you're saying burnout, hospital,
yeah.
things like stress, things like this. I think it's really good of you to come on here and actually say those things and point these things out to people, because it can affect your life. You can get really drawn into the whole, let's go back to social media thing.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really good message that you're putting out there, that it is, you have to balance it. You
Absolutely.
have to balance it. And I don't know, I think there's so many people out there that are just wanting it so badly that you don't. And we've all been there. We've all worked 12 hours, 15 hours, 18-hour days. And, you know, worked. When we started our business, it was Valentine's Day was just crazy, balloon in a box. Started work at, I don't know what time it was, 6 in the morning, and carried on working until 7 in the morning the next day, and then had an hour's sleep and then carried on. It was just absolutely bonkers. And that was with a little baby that was a few weeks old. It was just insane, absolutely insane. But you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
So
You've got limits.
Yeah. And I think it's important for people to realise that. And like you said, focus on you as well. If you are going to compare yourself to everybody out there, you're just going to do yourself a disservice.
No, massively. Like on Instagram, I turn off how many people like my posts.
Really?
I don't want to know how many people like my posts. Like, that's not my focus. I don't care. I've done that setup and that's for me, or my one-to-ones. That's a little buzz for them. That's on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how many people like my posts. I don't focus on the followers at all anymore. Like, when I hit 100K, I was like, obviously I was like buzzing with that. And then 150, I was buzzing. After 150, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I don't focus. Same with like how many Academy members I've got. I don't focus on that at all. I don't want to know. I would be happy if just 10 people invested in me. It means nothing.
Yeah. And that comes across. I think you're genuine. You want to help. You want to be there. And I think it has cost you in the ways we've just mentioned. But to find that balance is really important. But you're doing a great job. But yeah, the message is find that balance.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to find that balance.
Yeah, it
I
is.
put my hands up. Like, I have sucked at finding that balance.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my husband will absolutely agree with me.
But he's been really supportive
Yeah,
as well.
oh, he's amazing. Yeah, massive. Like, my biggest supporter, 100%.
Give a shout out to Russ.
Good old Russ.
Yeah. Got to send a picture of him. We'll put Russ on. Oh, there's a picture of the two of you.
He's got his own sticker as well.
Oh, has he?
Mr. Blow It on Instagram. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to follow Mr. Blowett. And what does he put on his? Is
No,
Instagram.
he's got the little, here we
Oh!
are, a little dinosaur, Greg, here, look. You know, on Instagram, when you upload a story, you can add stickers. Like,
Yes,
you've
we've got
your
our own balloon market
Yeah.
stickers. I'm not a dinosaur.
Right.
I
Well,
know
that's
these
what
things.
Russ has got. He's got a Mr. Blower.
I thought you meant he had his own account.
No,
so
he has got his
little
own
bit of a
Instagram
dinosaur.
accounts for his business.
Okay.
But he hates social media. Like, he's one of those people that if he wants social media gone, he's not.
So how has he dealt with you being on social media for so many hours in the day, answering
He
messages?
hates it. He hates it. But he still supports me with it. He knows it's my job, but he's like, it is toxic. Social media is toxic.
See, this is the other thing as well. You said, this is my job. It's not, it's your business.
Yeah.
If it was a job and you were expected to do what you did as a job,
I get paid for it.
nobody would do that job.
No.
You just wouldn't. So the fact it's your own business and you want to support everybody, you do. And that's
It's my passion as well.
Yeah.
Like, me and Russell have our little arguments over it. And I put my hands up, I'd openly admit that. Like, that's normal. I'm sure every relationship in the balloon industry has their arguments over it. But because it's my passion as well, like, I really am passionate for my job, it's hard to take a little step back from it. You're like, oh, I love it so much. Like, I crave it.
It is really hard because how do you, for instance, the next step might be to employ somebody. How do you do that when it is so much of you?
And I feel like it gives me my identity.
Yeah.
Like, when you become a mum, you're just mum. Like, you lose your adult interaction. So having something, for me, I'm Bex, like, to everyone on social media, I'm Bex. So it just gives me my identity back, and I just enjoy having that. Not that I don't enjoy being a mum. God, I love my kids. But having me as well back, no offence, but dads don't completely understand. It's different as a mum. It is completely different as a mum. So it's nice having my identity as Bex.
Yeah, and mums don't get the credit. So, it is hard. And there's a lot of people in the industry that are they do this to try and work around family life. And you can.
Absolutely.
To some
I've
extent.
done it.
But then the pressure starts to build.
Yeah. You then get mum guilt as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's real. That's real. I get it
Absolutely.
massively.
Yeah.
But like Remy, my little girl, she's 4. She's on so much of my academy because I just want everyone to see that, like, I'm still doing what I'm doing whilst juggling 2 kids.
And that's what they get on your academy, because you said you've cried on your academy, on your lives, and you complain, you talk about the issues that you're having in life as well as work, and you're completely open.
Oh, massively,
and I think that gives people that support, and that it's showing people what it's really like.
Yeah.
It's not all Instagram. Instagram's the final result of all the hard work and the stress and whatever you've gone through, and then you post that on Instagram, and people just think, oh, it's just done it and taken a picture. That's it. I think you're doing really well. I think I've enjoyed the work that we've done together over the few years, despite the abuse you've given.
All right.
Okay.
I wouldn't say really enjoyed, but okay.
But anyway, as your last message ever to our audience on BMTV, because you're not coming back.
Wow.
Well, you're abusing me. You can come back.
joking.
You can come back. Of course, you can come back. What would you say? What advice would you give now to people? I know I've said about the starting in the industry, but what advice would you give to people generally in the industry? Not necessarily starting in the industry, but from what you've learned, what you've experienced in your short 3 years, and what you've experienced now, what would you say to people?
To completely focus on yourself. Like, you're the most important thing. Stop thinking about what everyone else is doing. Stop comparing yourself, because it does affect your mental health massively. Yeah. Turn off your likes on your Instagram, unfollow people if you don't like what they're doing or they don't make you feel positive. There's no rules to say you can't do that. Just focus on you and your own mental health, and I promise, like, you'll be much happier. Much happier. Yeah. It's hard to do that though. I sit here and I'm like, feel like a hypocrite because I used to do that, but now I'm like, no, because I've gone through that, I'm like, no, I'm focusing on me and only me, and that's all that matters.
You just have to find that balance. Like
Yeah,
you said.
absolutely.
Find that balance. And I think it's good that you've gone. I mean, it's slightly different for us because it's not just me. I've got a team of great people.
Yeah.
But we still have rules in place. For instance, we're open 9 till 5:30. So you send us a message on Facebook. And at the beginning, Rachel and I were at home and we were doing that. And it's like, you just can't. So as we grew, we had people, customer support people. It's like, actually, you've got to be doing this during office hours. So we changed that. But it is a bit different for us because, no one person is the brand. No. It's a team of people.
I think I struggle with like the fact that it's all over the world as well because of different time zones.
Oh, God, yeah, of course.
So that's where I think I really struggle because like what is an okay time to reply to people in my world, like in the UK, they could be asleep. And then, do you know what I mean? Then I'm not replying to them.
I don't think it's
hard.
I don't think people really expect an instant response.
People do, Greg. People absolutely do.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying that. I sent you 4 messages
I know,
earlier on saying, where are you? Where
yeah.
in the
Just in the warehouse.
I know, but it's a big warehouse and I didn't know where you were. I was trying to find you.
Find the flowers,
and it's,
obviously.
Well, I didn't know that, did I? But I sent you a message and then I sent you 3 oys, didn't I? Because it's like, you were about to look at your phone when I found you.
I was,
so I guess that's just social media has made us all like that.
Yeah.
So you've just got to maybe, and everybody, just change okay, I'll get back to you within 24 hours.
Set your expectations, yeah.
Because if you would say to everybody, all messages will be responded to in 24 hours, then you cover every time zone.
Yeah.
So you just pick a time the next day, go through them at breakfast or whatever. What sort of questions are people asking? Sorry, I'm just going to carry on and on and on. What sort of questions are people asking you?
On the academy, just how to do things.
So things that you've taught in the academy?
Yeah. But I think, because everything's all on my app, so I have an academy app, but I think people just want an answer right now because they need to know the answer. So rather than go on the app to look for it, which could take a bit more time, they just want it answered straight away, which is fair enough. I get people are busy. But loads of times, like, how do you do this? What colour is this? I mean, I know my colours off by heart. I could tell you any colour by looking at a picture. But yeah, those are the most popular.
And what
do
about,
we have a discount code for this company?
Yeah. What about the answer is yes for balloon market?
Yes, you do.
And what about generally then? Do you get comments on
how do you create this? How do you do that? What's your colours?
And people just expect you.
But I don't mind.
If you've got 150,000 people following you and asking you those sorts of questions.
But I don't mind answering those questions. I just like stuff like that I'll answer when I get round to it. Do you know what I mean? I won't answer those straight away because...
But you must get the same questions over and over and
over.
Yeah,
I do. But I don't mind answering it because do you know what I hate in the industry is that there's secrets. Oh, we're not going to answer that because I don't want to tell you how I do that. It's a secret. I don't think it is a secret. Like if people look hard enough, they can find it. It's all on the internet. So I'll happily help anyone. Like I've said it 1,000 times over. If you want to know where I got this frame from, ask me. If you want to know what those colours are, ask me. I'm not going to go into detail how to create a display because that's on my academy. That's what people pay me for.
But that's also time. You can't type, for an hour to explain to somebody how to do something when they can sign up to your academy.
But I don't mind answering certain questions. Like there's no secrets.
All right. Well, Bex, it's been good to catch up.
Yeah, as always.
I'm sorry you've not been too well, but I'm glad you've seen the light.
I have seen the light.
And as a guest...
I haven't even prepared my question. I know,
Let me finish my sentence.
I prepared Laura and I didn't prepare myself.
Okay. All right, well, you should have thought that through, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I did. I should have done, yeah.
Well, anyway, you've got to ask a question of the week. You're the guest on BMTV. Think of something. It can be anything to do with anything.
What is your favourite thing about social media?
Oh. That's interesting.
Because it's not always a negative.
It's not a negative.
No,
it's people have built businesses.
Yeah.
You built your business on social media.
Exactly.
But what's your favourite thing about social media?
Yeah.
Excellent. Leave your comments down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Bex, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming on the sofa once again. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, please hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a new show. Check us out on Instagram and on Facebook and anywhere else. TikTok, that's the other one. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Be positive, be happy. Ciao for now.